Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. Under the law Congress passed, you were allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, that we redacted the victim's
Because you were following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act. Not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients, like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before.
I agree with you.
You twice.
I'm reclaiming my time. I agree with you. I agree with you. During the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures, but you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
Can I answer
Donald
that,
Trump.
though?
I want to move on to another question.
Can I answer your question about protecting?
You answered the question.
You're saying no. I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files.
I'm reclaiming my time. I got your answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please stop the clock.
Stop
the clock.
The legislation.
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a...
You just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you, here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head off, and the officers at the scene said that could not have been. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
May I respond?
Yeah, I don't know how you respond. No one can.
I did not
can
ask a
respond,
question,
but
Mr.
he
Head.
doesn't
You're
want
allowed
to talk
to.
about
I did
the
not ask a
horrific
question.
crime in California. He does not want to talk about
I did not ask a
crime
question.
in his
She
state.
can't just
Madam
add
Attorney
lib stuff.
Going
I
after
did not
Donald
ask a
Trump.
question.
Meeting will be in order. The
That memo from the Department of Justice stated investigators hadn't found enough to open new probes against uncharged individuals. Lieu held up those photos again, insisting they showed enough to dig deeper into figures like Prince Andrew. Why shut things down, he asked directly. Why no action? Bondi pushed back, noting she had called for reviews of these materials even during the previous administration when others were in charge. She pointed to what she saw as failures across multiple attorneys general before her. Yet here she was, in the hot seat, with Lieu arguing she now had the power to change course, but appeared to be doing the opposite by safeguarding certain names. The tension rose quickly as Lieu moved to another prominent figure whose name appears throughout the released documents. He brought up Donald Trump, who features in the files through past social connections to Epstein. A video clip played showing them together at events years ago. Lieu wanted to know about those gatherings and whether there were any concerns involving younger individuals. Bondi immediately dismissed the line of questioning as ridiculous, emphasizing there was no evidence of any crime committed by Trump. She described the current administration as highly transparent and focused on real results rather than old distractions. But Lieu wasn't finished. He reclaimed his time and introduced a document from a witness who had contacted the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. According to the account, this person had driven Trump in a limo and overheard a phone conversation involving Epstein that raised alarms. The witness claimed to have met someone who described a serious incident with Trump and Epstein. That individual later faced a tragic end, with questions raised about the circumstances. Lieu stressed that no one from the Department of Justice had interviewed this witness. He accused Bondi of not telling the full story under oath and demanded immediate action. The room erupted in reactions. Bondi fired back strongly, telling Lieu not to accuse her of anything improper. She stood by her statements that no credible evidence supported criminal actions by Trump. The exchange highlighted deep partisan divides, with Democrats pressing for more aggressive follow-up on every lead in the files, while the response from Bondi's side focused on completed reviews and lack of prosecutable new cases. Reports from the releases show millions of pages, photos, and other materials made public under the Transparency Act. Names like Trump, Prince Andrew, and others appear, often in social or travel contexts from years past. But official findings repeatedly state no client list or blackmail scheme targeting elites turned up credible grounds for charges. This hearing wasn't just about one confrontation. It reopened debates over how the Epstein case has been handled for years. Under previous leadership, calls for full disclosure went unanswered for a long time. When the big document dumps finally happened in late 2025 and early 2026, they included redacted images, messages, and tips that fueled speculation. Some online discussions and reports claim certain high-profile connections deserved closer scrutiny, but DOJ reviews, including that July 2025 memo, concluded there wasn't enough solid basis to pursue uncharged third parties. Prince Andrew's situation drew particular attention because of the photos Lieu displayed. Rumors have circulated for years about his associations, and while some legal matters played out overseas, the U.S. side under Bondi has maintained a focus on victim protections over new prosecutions. Liu's approach broadened the human cost, reminding everyone of the many victims affected. He noted over 1,000 individuals impacted and questioned why no men linked to the operation had been held accountable in these latest efforts. The emotional weight landed as he suggested Bondi should consider resigning if she couldn't deliver justice. Supporters of the Attorney General saw the questions as politically motivated attempts to shift focus from the administration's successes elsewhere. Bondi herself highlighted ongoing work and transparency, arguing the files had been more open than ever before. What makes this moment stand out is how it captures larger frustrations with the justice system. For years, Epstein's network generated endless rumors and theories. Some speculated powerful people avoided consequences due to influence. Others point to the thorough reviews that found many tips were unverified or sensationalist, especially those surfacing near elections. The limo driver account, for instance, remains one of those unconfirmed reports in the files. It described overhearing troubling talk and a later conversation with someone who alleged a serious assault involving both men. Officials at the time noted the difficulty in following up without more details, and no charges resulted. Framing these elements carefully matters, as many claims stay in the realm of allegations without court validation. Bondi's defense rested on facts from the exhaustive examination. The Department of Justice emphasized that while Epstein caused immense harm, the evidence didn't support broad new investigations against others. Redactions protected victims, not clients. Photos released showed associations, but not direct proof of crimes in many cases. Trump has denied any involvement in illegal activities, and his team has called many claims unfounded. Still, the repeated mentions in the documents keep curiosity alive. Prince Andrew faced his own legal challenges abroad, including arrests and releases tied to related matters, adding to the international angle of the story. As the hearing continued, the back and forth revealed how divided Washington remains on this topic. Democrats like Lieu and others pushed for a special counsel to look into Bondi's testimony, arguing inconsistencies with file contents. They wanted every witness interviewed and every lead chased. On the other side, the emphasis was on moving forward without revisiting old, disproven narratives. This clash echoes broader questions about accountability, transparency, and whether the system truly delivers for victims or gets tangled in politics. Beyond the personalities, the Epstein files saga raises important points about how evidence gets handled at the highest levels. Releases included thousands of references to prominent figures, from business leaders to politicians. Most connections appear social or fleeting, with no smoking gun for widespread criminal enterprises beyond what was already known about Epstein himself. Yet the volume of material ensures ongoing discussion. Rumors suggest more could still emerge, though officials maintain the major disclosures are complete. Online communities continue dissecting documents, speculating on redacted portions or overlooked details. It's been said that certain phone records or travel logs hint at deeper ties, but without verification, they remain topics of debate rather than established facts. The tragedy at the center cannot be forgotten. Victims deserved thorough justice, and many feel the process has been too slow or selective. Liu's questions tapped into that sentiment, demanding answers on why certain cases closed without more action. Bondi countered by pointing to prior administration's shortcomings and her own commitment to review. The hearing ended without clear resolution, but it left a strong impression on those following the case. Calls for further investigations, including potential special counsel appointments, surfaced in the days after. Looking at the bigger picture, this moment reflects challenges in pursuing high-profile matters. Laws protect victims' identities, which can limit public understanding. Transparency efforts aim to balance openness with fairness. The July memo summarized findings of no predicate for new probes, helping close some chapters while leaving others open to interpretation. Speculation about protection for elites persists in some circles, fueled by the dramatic hearing exchanges. Reports claim witnesses felt ignored, yet official records show attempts at follow-up on credible tips were limited by lack of details. Trump's name appearing frequently sparks particular interest because of his current role. Files note past flights and events, but emphasize no evidence of wrongdoing. The administration stresses this transparency as a contrast to earlier handling. Prince Andrew's situation adds a royal dimension, with his U.S. connections scrutinized alongside British proceedings. The photos Lieu presented became focal points, symbolizing for some the need for more aggressive pursuit. As discussions continue, one thing stands clear: the Epstein case touches on trust in institutions. When a